In 1982, Mickey was working in the housing office in Newry. Using the housing files, he located a target. Mickey insisted the target was a part-time soldier in the Ulster Defence Regiment. His name was Norman Hanna. Eamonn Collins was not convinced that Norman Hanna was a military target.
I seen where he worked, and that was the first thing threw into my mind a doubt that he was in the UDR. So I asked Mickey to check up on the intelligence. He checked up on the intelligence. He had access to a public office file, which indicated the guy was no longer in the UDR over a period of 6 years. As far as I was concerned, he was not a target and should not be a target. And that was a discipline, and that was a morality, as far as I was concerned, was sacrosanct in the business, in the awful business that we were involved in. I had no illusion about the horror of that business, but there were certain disciplined army ground rules that I believed in applying rigidly, and that was one of them. He was not a target.
Collins was overruled by his IRA commanders. The murder would go ahead.
28-year-old Norman Hanna, who quit the UDR 6 years ago because his wife was frightened for his safety, had just kissed his 4-year-old daughter goodbye when the killers gunned him down outside Newry's PSV centre, where he was a clerk. He was hit at least 6 times in the head and chest from point-blank range, and he died instantly. As his killers escaped on a motorbike, Mr Hanna's hysterical wife and terrified daughter had to be comforted by his colleagues.
On the day the operation went ahead, I scouted the bike driver in. I arranged for the bike rider to be picked up and taken to my flat after the operation. And I arranged for meeting Mickey and picking up the guns. He was carrying 2 guns. He was carrying a 9mm Browning. He was carrying a 38 Smith & Wesson revolver, which is with dum-dum bullets. Now, the moment that took place, my role and my position and my principles and my moral stand, for what it was worth, has been seriously invalidated. Why? Well, the night before the operation, I held the bag outside at 11 o'clock at night at a transformer, handed over the guns to Michael. I said to him, this man is out of the UDR. You know it as regards the files. You've seen it. And I'm holding on to that bag. He's putting his hand on the other side of it, and there's a tug-of-war taking place. And I knew the moment that I let that bag go, that man's life was slipping down the drain. But he kept saying the man was seen at a checkpoint. The senior officer says the same. There's an operation that's ready to go. And I let it go. And I felt particularly guilty as a result of that operation. I had let that man's life slip through my fingers. And it was desperately wrong. Desperately.